called me Native American instead of Indian because I'm not from India.
Well, howdy do. White guy here. You probably won't like what I have to say, but regardless, there's a common misconception that Christopher Columbus thought he was landing in India, and that's where the term Indians comes from a misconception about where he was in the world. That's not the case. The nation of India didn't exist until 1949. Prior to then, it was called Hindustan.
Hello, my friend. To begin, you state...
Well, okay then, this is getting a little bit awkward, being at the end of a stitch of a stitch of a stitch. Bahari brings up many good points, but at the end of all this, it leaves a series of things unanswered. Did Christopher Columbus actually think that he was in India? Sort of, but no. The reason that Christopher Columbus referred to the Native Americans as Indians is because he thought that he was in the Indies, not India. You see, my friends, while there were of course different names for different kingdoms, for tribes, for everything else, in Europe, collectively, everything from India all the way through Indonesia was referred to as the Indies. This was a catch-all term that was used by Europeans that essentially meant everything to the east where spices came from. So you see, in one of the most hilarious coincidences in history, Columbus's big mistake is that he underestimated the size of the world. When he landed in the Caribbean, he fully expected to find people that looked like they were in the Caribbean, as previous histories had described the different tribes that lived in parts of Indonesia. And considering one of the early things that he found were chilies, he indeed thought that he was in the Spice Islands. Hence, the Indies.